What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and man, oh man, this Will Smith story has so many layers and so many twists and turns. Who knew a small little slap could have so much lying beneath it? I mean, from the moment it happened, I made myself clear when I said that this wasn't about Chris Rock's joke, that this was about something more. And we all had somewhat of an idea of what Will Smith has been going through, but I feel like we are just at the tip of the iceberg here at what is really going on with Will Smith. I feel like he is being abused, for lack of better words. But speaking of twists and turns, now Jada Pinkett Smith's ex-lover, August Alsina, is calling her out for trying to cancel him after their affair. And he just released a new song in which he talks about their entanglement. Now, you know what? I don't blame him. Usually, I don't kiss and tell. Like, I'm a type of guy where I don't kiss and tell. I'm not big on people being too much in my business. And I never want to put people in other people's business. So I don't kiss and tell. So I'm not a fan of when people pillow talk or when people talk about, their relationships with other people. However, Jada Pinkett Smith made a lot of money off of August Alsina. So I don't blame him for trying to capitalize in this moment, because he knows Will Smith is a hot topic right now. So now's the time that he's going to put out a song about their entanglement. Now, before I go any further, I know a lot of us watching this video, we know all about this stuff. We know all about August. We know all about the entanglement. We know all about the drama. But there's a large portion of people who click on my videos who didn't even know who Jada Pinkett Smith was. And they damn sure don't know who this August guy is. So just to give you a quick rundown, just to give you a briefing. August Alsina was an upcoming musician, a music star, R&B artist, hip-hop type of artist. And he was actually good friends with Jaden Smith and Willow Smith. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith's children. So he was good friends with Jaden. They would hang out all the time at Will Smith's house. And he was going through some things. You see, he had just obtained some fame of his own. And came across a lot of money. He's got, a couple of hit songs out there. And he was having a hard time adjusting to fame. He was also battling with other mental issues and drugs or what have you. And he looked up to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. And he figured that, hey, who could be a better mentor than Will frickin' Smith? I'm friends with this kid. Will Smith knows about, getting some newfound fame, coming across a lot of money out of nowhere. Will Smith knows what I'm going through. So Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith were supposed to mentor him. Help him with his newfound fame. Help him adjust to this new lifestyle. Help him with his addiction problems. Help him with his mental issues. Help him with his depression. Help him just deal with all of these big changes in his life. But of course, Will Smith he's a busy guy. He's out filming movies and stuff nonstop. Jada Pinkett Smith, she's not as busy. She doesn't have as many roles as Will Smith. She doesn't do as much as Will Smith, which is okay. So, while Will Smith was out filming these movies all across the world, this August guy was chilling at his house with his kids and his wife. And I guess he thought it was probably perfectly fine. Little did he know these mentoring sessions these mentoring sessions and these counseling sessions that were supposed to be scheduled with professionals, and Jada Pinkett Smith was supposed to help him through it, help him heal. That's the word she loves to use, heal. Little did he know that would just turn into this kid having sex with his wife at his various mansions all across the world. So while Will Smith was out filming movies, his son's friend was sleeping with his wife in his mansions, in his bedrooms, in various mansions all across the United States and elsewhere. So in many ways, now it's important to remember he was of age. He was very young, early 20s, even like 19, 20, 21, 22. So he was of age, but he was still preyed upon because Jada Pinkett Smith was in the mentorship level. She was supposed to be mentoring him. It was almost like she had the power dynamic over him. Even though he's an upcoming star, she had the power dynamic over him. And in the situation when she was supposed to be helping him heal, she was just giving him blowjobs in Will Smith's bed. I mean, for lack of better words, let's just call it what it is, folks. So she groomed him. She took advantage of him. And he was never the same. But we'll get into that in a minute. August Alsina, the R&B vocalist whom Jada Pinkett Smith admittedly shared an extramarital entanglement, appears to be exhuming the twisted details of their since-bedded relationship in a new song called Shake the World. Well, of course, some shit is bound to go down when you tangled up with the world's favorite, Alsina says in the song. His controversial lyrics come amid the chaos sparked by Will Smith's slap at the Oscars. But elsewhere in the song, Alsina also makes a reference to getting canceled. I heard I was canceled. Well, let's not speak on that. Red dot on my back, I became a target, and I'm flawed but flawless. That's what makes me August. So what he's referring to here, folks, I know a lot of people might not know this. This guy, August, you've probably never heard of him. And the reason you've probably never heard of him is because of Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, you may have heard of him because he was sleeping with Jada Pinkett Smith, but the reason why you haven't heard any of his music is because of Jada Pinkett Smith. You see, after this entanglement, Jada Pinkett Smith got him blackballed in the music industry. He had a bright career ahead of him. He was like the next Usher, the next Chris Brown, Trey Songz. He was the next one up, the next big R&B star. And then his career just took a skydive out of nowhere. Legit out of nowhere after this relationship entanglement that he had with Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, she really and truly messed this guy up. I want you to look at I want you to look at August Alsina before the entanglement with Jada. Now, let's take a look at him after the entanglement with Jada. I think it's safe to say you can spot the clear difference. You see, Jada took this moment and realized that her son or her son's friend was very vulnerable. And she took advantage of that sexually. She sexually took advantage of a young, up-and-coming artist who was trying to find his way in the world, who trusted that his idol, one of his idols, Will Smith, would help him find that way in the world. Little did he know, Will Smith wasn't going to help him at all. But his wife was going to help him get off, but that's about it. And apparently she messed this kid up. She messed this kid up big time. We could do a deep dive in it. I'm not going to do it on this video. But we could do a deep dive into just how, like, he just went off the deep end after this entanglement. But yeah, he was never the same afterwards. And I think a lot of it is in part to whatever Jada did to him. Whatever Jada did to him. There was even points where he was talking about how Jada Pinkett Smith was his soulmate. And you see, while Jada Pinkett Smith used him and took advantage of him, I don't think her feelings were ever involved because she's a cold-hearted person. Her feelings were never involved. She was getting off on the fact that she was sneaking around and having sex with her kids' friends. She wasn't falling in love. She wasn't really catching too many feelings. She was kind of like how a guy is, who's just trying to get his rocks off. That's Jada Pinkett Smith in this situation. Meanwhile, August was getting like really entangled. I mean, for lack of better words, he was getting really entangled into whatever they had going on. And he put a lot behind it, a lot of stock into it, if you will. A lot of emotions into it. And she wasn't doing the same. So afterwards, and he's even said this before, he just felt like a piece of meat. He felt used, abused, just thrown to the side, which he was. She used him for what she could get out of him, which was that dick, and then threw him away. Then went back to Will Smith and laughed about it in his face on Red Table Talk. She had sex with her son's friend in Will Smith's various mansions and then laughed about it in front of millions of people, her husband being one of them, live for the whole world to see. So she kind of messed this guy up. And I don't feel bad. I'm not going to frown upon the fact that he's now saying something. Maybe he needs to have his voice heard. Because he's just another victim of Jada Pinkett Smith. And he's just one of the victims we know about. I would argue this. Follow me for a moment. I would argue that 9 times out of 10, a woman doesn't just wake up and decide to have sex with one of her son's friends. I would argue that if she's done that she may have done it before. Maybe she's still doing it now. It just doesn't seem like something that's kind of a one-off situation. So there's no telling how many young people have encountered Jada Pinkett Smith. There's no telling how many of Jaden's little friends have come over there to play video games and left a brand new man. Oh, whoa. So I would argue that it wouldn't surprise me if this was something that's happened before and will happen again. And the thing that just disgusts me the most about the situation is because of the leverage that she had over him at the moment. A young kid just finding fortune and fame in complete turmoil, who thought he was getting help from some people who have been adjusted to fame for decades. But in turn, he just got used as a sexual object. Now, of course, in the moment, I'm sure he's enjoying himself. But he went there for help, and he winded up getting messed up even more. And not just that, he went there for help on how to further his career, how to better his career, how to manage his career, how to live a somewhat normal life while having this career. And instead of getting tips on those things, when he got in the long run, is his career absolutely ruined by Jada Pinkett Smith. And she doesn't care one bit about it. She doesn't care about the fact that his songs don't get picked up and played on the radio anymore. You want to know why she doesn't care? Because her and her husband personally made the calls to make sure that he doesn't get record spins anymore. They personally made sure that his career went downhill when they were supposed to uplift him. But instead, they used him like a sex doll and threw him to the side. And I say they only because if you really dig into the story, it looks like Will Smith was kind of somewhat okay with this. I don't want to say necessarily in on it, but I'm not sure if maybe he liked what was happening as well. And we'll get into that in the future. But I want to know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you on the next video.